Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I had a question here in my email requesting an interview from me. So I figured, well, what does John Sonmez do? He doesn't really just reply to emails. He makes videos. So I figured I'd do a video response here. I'll read you the question or the email, and then I'll give some answers to these questions really quickly here. So this email says, "Hey John, my name is Elizabeth. I discovered your YouTube channel after doing some research into the field of programming and have been a regular viewer since. You might remember the video you made based off of one of my questions, how to survive as a female developer. You can check that video out right there. Since then, I've changed majors and I'm now taking my first computer science class. Our midterm requires us to interview 2 people in a field that interests us, so naturally my first thought was to see if I might be able to interview you. I know you're busy, so I will include the interview questions before knowing your response. If you're unable to do an interview, it's no problem. Anyway, I know you are busy, so I will include the interview questions before knowing your response. If you're unable to do an interview, it's no problem. I'll still continue to like your videos as they come up before I even hit play." All right, I like that. That's awesome. That's how to get me to do an interview. So here's the first question. Number 1, what is your job title? I guess my job title, I don't really have a job title. What is my job title? My job title would be owner of Simple Programmer, but that doesn't sound cool enough. What was that one? I can't remember. Someone had said, give me some kind of title that I was going to start using, but I don't remember what that is. So let's just say, what should we say my job title is? Let's say Inspire? No, I don't know. I don't know what my job title is. It's the soft skills guy. I don't know. What is it? It's owner of Simple Programmer. I guess that's I can't think of anything creative. So that's what it is for now. But I need to think of a job title. These questions are good because this is helping me. I need to figure out what is my job title. I need to come up with something, something snazzy, right? So I can put it on my business card. Okay, what type of education would I need to get into this field? So I'm assuming the field of software development and not the field of doing what I do, which is kind of weird, like expressing your opinion on YouTube and, and pissing people off every week, right? So education-wise, I've done some videos definitely on, you can check out my playlist on careers and education, what I think of it. But I think none, actually. What you need to do is you need to learn. Education is not a requirement. So it's great that you're going to school. If you get a computer science degree, awesome. You don't even need that. I mean, you can really make it as a developer learning on your own. But if you are going to, I think computer science makes a lot of sense. I think boot camps also make sense, right? There's a lot of ways, I think, to get that education. I guess I would say, that I don't believe in the traditional sort of views on education. I don't believe in, obviously, that, in some of the ideas that a lot of people hold that I think is very limiting. This kind of path that most people take in life, that this is the path that you've got to take. I don't necessarily believe that. So I think it's pretty open-ended. I think the key thing is that you learn how to do something that's valuable to people, right? I mean, and that would apply to anything, right? Let's not just talk computer science here. Whatever that you're trying to do, obviously I wouldn't be able to run Simple Programmer if I wasn't creating some kind of value. I wasn't trained as a speaker. I wasn't trained to write. I have no talent in creating videos. I wasn't trained for that, obviously, right? But I'm just doing it because I'm creating value. And so even as a programmer, right, can you write code? Can you actually create value? How you go about obtaining those skills to be able to do that, that doesn't matter. It only matters in the end, can you work for a company or a client and create value for them by creating software if you're a software developer? So that's how I would say that. How has technology changed in this field? How has it not changed in this field? It changes every single day. It changes all the time. It's a fast-paced environment. You're never going to be able to, quote, keep up. Technology is always going to be changing. But here's one thing. Even though it's changed, what it's really done is it's changed form. Because I always talk about this pendulum that swings back and forth, and nothing really new is invented. What it is it's just the old ideas are combined in new ways or revamped from time to time, right? If you look back and you look at all the programming languages that we've had historically, they're all, like, a lot of the new stuff is really just the old stuff, but it's been repackaged. People have rediscovered it. So, technology while it's changing every day, it also at its core hasn't changed. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen in the future. I mean, we've gone from so many, I'd say one of the big things though that I do think has changed is, first of all, the amount of information that's out there and how we process that. As developers, we're a lot more efficient. We have a lot more tools. Oh, my desk is moving up. Oh gosh. This is the fun when you start to automate your life, right? I've got this timer, I've got this desk, automated desk. I just bought this standing desk, and it's like, it has AI in it, and it adjusts automatically. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. What salary range could I expect starting out? I did a video actually on this, on programmer salary ranges, but I would say that, this is really hard to pin down, but it depends on your skill and how good you negotiate and whatnot. But I think, really, is it dinging again? I don't think this time it'll keep dinging. I think for most developers, though, you could probably, like, starting out, getting your CS degree, you could probably expect to do at least like $50,000 or $60,000 a year in the US. But getting a $70,000 or $80,000 a year job is not unheard of. And even getting like a six-figure with a Facebook or Apple or Microsoft, if you land a deal like that, or if you go into the financial industry and you land a deal like that, that's certainly possible. I mean, I don't want to. You can definitely watch that video where I talked about the different salaries and expectations, but I wouldn't want to place a number that's too low. Always think higher. You can't really say that, oh, I can only earn this, because I think that's limited thinking. So it's hard to answer this question, but anything within that range, I think from 50 to 60 is reasonable, but above that is certainly possible. It really ultimately depends on the value that you're going to be able to provide to another company, a company that you're working for, and how you can demonstrate that value. And obviously, if you work for yourself, the sky's the limit, right? So what are some of the current technology-related issues / challenges, problems in the field today? Wow, okay, this is a kind of a broad question. So the biggest problem, I think, in the field today, and I'm going to use this as an advertisement so I can plug my course, but I think one of the biggest problems is really just learning. Is there's so much to learn, right? Technology is moving so fast, and to know what to learn and how to learn it. Obviously, I created a course called 10 Steps to Learn Anything Quickly, and I did it because of that, because that is one of the greatest challenges. So I think that's number one. That's the greatest challenge that we have today, is that we just have so much technology. There's so much. You've got to be able to today, it used to be like when I first started out in programming, you needed to become an expert in the language, right? I became an expert in C++. I knew everything there was to know about it, how to use it inside and out. But today, that's not the case. Now, what you have to become an expert in is in adapting and pulling in frameworks and things together, and being able to quickly grok a library and figure out how to use it and what to do. It's to be able to really adapt quickly, and to be versatile. I think that's some of the challenges. And I'm gearing this towards programmers, to computer science people as a challenge. In the field itself, technology, we could talk about all kinds of things. Just to give you a short idea, I think battery life is the biggest thing that's holding us back right now. I think once we have battery life, once we have batteries that can be 10x or 100x what we have now, the whole field is going to change. Whole world in technology space is going to change drastically. So then, last question: what's changing in the field? What should someone coming into it now need to know in, say, 3 years from now? What's changing in the field, or what I predict changing in the field, is basically this one simple thing, is that programming itself is becoming a commodity. In fact, it's funny, here, I have right here on my desk, right, this Wired magazine article. I don't know if you can see this very well, but what does it say on here? The end of code. Do you know what this article is about? This article is about this idea that maybe we won't need programmers anymore, because programs will have the artificial intelligence to be trained. You won't program code. Instead, neural nets and machine learning will facilitate the creation of programs from like a base program. And there's a lot of that already, right? The Go, it talks about Go, the computer that beat that Go player, the famous Go player, and how it used learning. It taught itself how to play Go. No one ever taught it to play Go. So I don't think that there's never going to be programmers, but what I think is that just the basic ability to just write code is going to be a commodity, and what's going to be important is to specialize very deeply in a technology and to have the other skills, the social skills, the people skills, the interaction skills, the higher level architecture and understanding of technology. We need to become more technologists rather than just programmers, because those skills are either going to be obsolete because they can be replaced by this kind of machine learning, or they're going to be outsourced to third world countries where, places like India and Pakistan and even some parts of Russia, Egypt, there's all of these places, Philippines, where people are in China, right, where they're going to be working for a lot cheaper as programmers. But the communication skills is something that you can't replace. So if I were new getting into the field today, I would be focusing on specializing, having a very deep technology. I'd learn how to market myself. I'd learn the soft skills that are going to make me much more successful in any kind of environment in dealing with people. And communication. How can you communicate? Communicating effectively is so important. That's the whole reason why. That's the thing that's going to make it so that someone would pay $100 or $200 an hour for you to code rather than someone in another country that's willing to do it for $20 an hour. Even though the skills may be the same, the communication is what makes a difference. So anyway, that's it. I ran a little bit longer here than I planned. I'm actually late for a meeting, but I want to finish this. And so Elizabeth, thanks for the question. Hopefully you find this valuable. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you next time. Take care.